Next up, we're going to create a login page. Obviously, we have to have the user input their login ID and their password somewhere. So let's create our login page. Let's go to the View menu and bring up our terminal window again. And down here, we're going to do an ngc component public/login. So we're going to put a login component underneath public. So we're going to generate that. And if we now go over and look at public, we should see a login component.html there. And what we want to do is make this now look like a login page. Now I'm using Bootstrap, so I'm using a lot of the Bootstrap classes and things. I've also created some of my own custom components here for informational messages, exception messages, validation messages. I've also added some temporary code just so I can view the security object as JSON, so you can see that on lines 6 through 10 here. I then have my form into which I'm going to ask the user for their username and password. So within all of this card construct that is part of Bootstrap, I'm adding my labels and my inputs on lines 21 through 25 for asking for the username, and I'm binding that up to the username property. And I've also got on lines 28 through 32 a label and input for the password, again binding that to the password property as well. The last thing you see down here on lines 36 through 38 is a button, and in that button I'm going to call a login method in my login component.